You see, Ali ibn Abi Talib isn't just a person, or at least he shouldn't be seen as a mere person, as a mere individual. Ali ibn Abi Talib should be seen as a culture. The question is, am I able to coordinate my actions with his? Because I know, we all know, that the actions of Ali weren't just good or noble, they are the standard by which each and every one of our actions will be measured. So when we think of Amir al-Mu'mineen, we should think of how I will measure up against him. The point of this whole talk, brothers and sisters, is that for us to make a commitment that that is my benchmark, that is my scale, Ali ibn Abi Talib is my leader, let me be a better person by following in his footsteps. So who was Ali ibn Abi Talib? Let me mention a few examples. This is how Ali treats his enemies. The question is, how do you treat your friends? How do you treat your family members? This is how Ali treats his enemies. I'll give you two very quick examples. In the battle of Jamal, the most detrimental and the most destructive battles that Imam Ali had to face during his entire life. Why? Because it gave the people the audacity, the evildoers, it gave them the audacity to raise their swords and their spears in the face of Amir al-Mu'mineen. If Ali ibn Abi Talib wanted to seek revenge, he had every right to seek revenge in the battle of the camel after he won. They had killed Imam Ali's friends. They had killed his companions. But you know what he did? He went to the leader of the enemy army. She was hiding on top of a camel. After the camel fell to the ground, the Imam went to her. Before he could speak, she said to him, Ya Ali, malakta fa asjah. Oh Ali, you've won now. You're the victor. Please have mercy on me. I know what I have done. I have caused the deaths of 15,000 innocent souls. But now that you're the victor, now that you've won, have mercy on me. Do you know what Imam Ali said? He said, قَدْ فَعَلْتُ, I've already done so. Not only that, the Imam then took her. He took 40 women, dressed them up like warriors, like men, and he entrusted the leader of the enemy army to these 40 women who looked like men and said, take her back to her home in safety. Why did he send women instead of men? Because by the time she got to her destination, she then went around saying, oh, look at what Ali ibn Abi Talib did. Ali ibn Abi Talib, he sent 40 strangers, 40 men with me. And so all the women then took off their masks. They said, no, Ali ibn Abi Talib didn't do that. He sent women to protect you. But he had us dress up like men so that no one would think about attacking the caravan. After the battle of Jamal, Amir al-Mu'mineen even prevented his soldiers from taking any war booty, any spoils of war. So you know how after a battle, you have the right to go and to pick up any weapons that have been left over, anything that's left over by the enemy soldiers. It's acceptable in Islam if the battle itself, if the war itself is legitimate, especially one where Amir al-Mu'mineen is the commander. And yet the Imam said, absolutely not. You do not touch any of the spoils of this war. Leave them. That's the battle of Jamal. The second example is the battle of Siffin. When Imam Ali reached the battlefield, Muawiyah had already taken hold of the entire perimeter. One of the things that he had done, as is so characteristic of Muawiyah and Bani Umayyah, he had taken over all the water sources, all the water wells, and he told the army of Ali ibn Abi Talib that you get no access to water. They said to Muawiyah, if you do this now, no one knows what's going to happen in the course of the battle. What if Ali ibn Abi Talib is able to conquer our side of the territory and take over the water wells? He's not going to give us water. He will do to us exactly as we've done to him. He said, oh no, you don't know Ali ibn Abi Talib. I got nothing to lose here. So they came to Amir al-Mu'mineen. They said to him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, we don't have water. We've just arrived. We're thirsty. We're dying here. The Imam said to them, "Urwu siyufakum min ad-dima turwaw min al-ma." You want to drink water? Then you're going to have to fight your way to those water wells. So the war erupts. They begin to fight. Sure enough, the soldiers of Amir al-Mu'mineen, taking lead from their master, their Imam, who was always at the very forefront. Ali ibn Abi Talib, unlike 99% of every leader out there, he wouldn't send soldiers into the battlefield to fight his wars. He was always at the very forefront. He was a soldier before being a general. And so taking lead from their Imam, they went into the battlefield, they fought, they were able to recapture the water. Then they went to Muawiyah, his friends. They said to him, "See what we told you. Now Ali ibn Abi Talib has all the water and he's not going to give us a drop of it." He said, "Again, I told you, you don't know Ali ibn Abi Talib as well as I do. Go ask him for water." Imam Ali's own soldiers, some of them, they went up to him, they said to him, "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, uqtulhum bisayf al-atash." Kill them with the sword of thirst. They've killed our friends. In order to recapture the water wells, some of us got killed, some of us were injured. Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, now that we have the upper hand, let's destroy them, just as they did to us. Revenge, an eye for an eye. Amir al-Mu'mineen said, "No, give them the water." Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, why? The Imam said, The difference between me and Muawiyah is I can play games. I can play tricks. I can do exactly what Muawiyah does. It's not that I don't know how to play politics. But I am afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so he gave them a share of the water. That's how Ali ibn Abi Talib treats his enemies. My question to you again, brothers and sisters, as a believer, as a lover of Ali, as a Shia of Ali, how do you treat your own brothers and sisters? Isn't it shameful when I come across someone who says, "Yeah, it's been 15 years, I haven't even spoken to my brother or sister. I haven't spoken to my cousin in a long time because of some family feud or some problem that happened." And we're both lovers of Ali ibn Abi Talib, and yet sometimes, brothers and sisters, when we ourselves fight amongst ourselves, it's like there are no limits to the savagery. There are no limits to the things that we say to each other. There are no limits to the things that we would do to each other. This is how Ali treats his enemies. Let's start to treat each other with a little more kindness and compassion. Let's remember what Ali would do.